Mikel Arteta told Arsenal star Ethan Nwaneri will force a move away as fans left fuming. Ethan Nwaneri has played just 10 times for Arsenal this season after signing a new contract at the Emirates Stadium in the summer transfer window. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta has been criticised for refusing to hand Ethan Nwaneri more minutes after he was named on the bench in Wednesday night's Champions League 3-0 win over Club Brugge. Fans made their feelings clear on social media, with some even suggesting Nwaneri would be within his rights to seek a move away. The Gunners' boss made 5 changes to the side that lost 2-1 to Aston Villa with a new, look-forward line starting in Belgium. Victor Gyökeres replaced Mikel Merino at centre-forward, with Gabriel Martinelli and Noni Madueke coming in for Bukayo Saka and Eberechi. Despite the changes in attack, Arteta decided against using Nwaneri. The 18-year-old has started just 3 games this season, 2 in the EFL Cup and 1 in the Champions League. He was named on the bench for the trip to Bruges, and the decision left many in the Arsenal fan base questioning why he had not been handed a rare start. When is Ethan Nwaneri gonna play if you won't play him in a game like this? Trying to work out what this manager is planning with Ethan Nwaneri. He's not playing him in the odd game, despite the ongoing injury crisis, tight game, states where we end up dropping points anyway, and rate of games he, Arteta, complains about. Ethan Nwaneri will definitely force a move away from the club in January, and I think he will be justified to do so. There's no need for Merino and Zubimendi to start this game tonight, but we all know how cowed Mikel Arteta is when it comes to rotating the players. Arsenal have Nwaneri in their long-term plans and do not expect to lose the teenager, though some reports earlier this year suggested he could leave the club on loan if the right offer comes in January. Nwaneri committed himself to the club by signing a new contract in North London in the summer after doubts emerged about his place in the Arsenal team. The academy product has featured just 10 times across all competitions, playing less than 500 minutes. At the end of last month, Nwaneri was one of several players to take part in a behind-closed-doors friendly alongside Gabriel Jesus, who made his return from injury in Belgium. He did come on against Club Brugge in the 70th minute, with the Gunners 3-0 up. The teenager looked lively in his 20-minute cameo, going close on numerous occasions and forcing the Bruges keeper into good saves. Noni Madueke netted 2 goals either side of half-time before Gabriel Martinelli curled in a superb third to seal the points for the Gunners. The appearance was his 50th for the club and his first minutes since he came off the bench in the 4-1 win over Tottenham Hotspur in the second half. When he came off the bench, fans on social media urged him to show Arteta what he is capable of. Finally, Nwaneri is on. Ethan, show the gaffer what you're about, lad. Would love a Nwaneri goal, show the boss what he's forgetting. Despite some anger directed towards Arteta, it was a great night for him and his side as they all but secured their automatic qualification to the next stage of the Champions League. Arsenal remain top with 6 victories from 6. 3 points clear of second-place Bayern and 6 of Atletico Madrid, who hold the last automatic qualification spot in 8th. Arsenal's 93 injuries explained as Mikel Arteta truth clear after latest setback. Mikel Arteta has explained the high number of injuries Arsenal have sustained since the start of last season, with the total approaching a Premier League leading amount. Arsenal having the second highest number of injuries in the Premier League since the start of last season is not something Mikel Arteta blames on the club's medical staff. Brighton and Hove Albion are the only top-flight team to have sustained more setbacks, with 97, than the 93 the Gunners have faced over the last 18 months. A player Arsenal signed from Brighton, Leandro Trossard, is one of the latest to pick up a knock. Christian Mosquera, Gabriel Magalhaes, Kai Havertz and William Saliba also remain out at least for the Champions League match against Club Brugge. Arteta has now addressed their absences over the last 18 months. I think you have to separate the kind of injuries that they are. Some of them have been long-term and acute injuries, especially with some of the key players, that keep you out for a lot of days. It's something that we are constantly looking at. As well, we have played a lot of games with a lot of players missing, that puts a lot of stress and then more injuries. But we are on it, and I'm really happy with what we're doing in terms of the medical stuff and everything that we are trying to bring together. Sometimes, as well, we need some things to go on our side. Of the 93 injuries, 26 have come this season. Only newly promoted Leeds United have more, with 28, while last weekend's opponents, Aston Villa, also have 26. More than half of the league have sustained over 20, with Crystal Palace third at 25. Chelsea have 2 left, while Brighton, Liverpool, Manchester City, Newcastle United and Tottenham Hotspur are all level on 22. 3 of those mentioned are also among the 5 teams with over 80 since the start of last season. Spurs are just behind Arsenal on 87, with Villa at 83 and Newcastle 3 behind. For the Gunners, all of Ben White, Bukayo Saka, Christian Norgard, Gabriel Jesus, Gabriel Martinelli, Martin Odegaard, Noni Madueke, Piero Hincapié and Victor Gyökeres have missed matches. Multiple players, namely Odegaard and Trossard, have sustained several setbacks. Max Doman will now also be absent. Arteta has also spoken about the frustration of these issues. Losing Max again, it's obviously not ideal, with Leo, who is just coming back, that we have to manage the minutes. Willie is still not there. We've not got Big Gabby, and we have other players that they could only play certain minutes. Like, for example, Ricky Calafiori, the other day. But it's a situation that we have managed since the beginning of the season. We are in December, so it's been almost 5 months in a remarkable way, and we're going to continue. Chris Sutton says really smart Arsenal signing has damaged Chelsea. Chris Sutton says a really smart Arsenal signing not only strengthened Mikel Arteta's squad but damaged London rivals Chelsea. Premier League and Champions League leaders Arsenal suffered a rare defeat at Aston Villa at the weekend but got back to winning ways against Club Brugge on Wednesday night. Noni Madueke's brace and a Gabriel Martinelli stunner inspired Arsenal's routine 3-0 win in Belgium as the Gunners maintained their perfect record in Europe. Premier League striker Sutton was particularly impressed by Madueke's performance and said the England winger is increasingly looking like a really smart signing for the Gunners. Sutton also believes Madueke was a significant loss to Chelsea after he swapped west for North London in a summer deal worth just over £50 million. It wasn't just with his goals that Noni Madueke made an impact. He did really well throughout the game and showed he is ready to do a job when he is called upon. A lot is made of Arsenal's strength in depth this season, and at the moment Arteta has got a few injuries in key positions. But in those wide areas he has got plenty of options, and the fact he could bring Madueke and Martinelli off the bench against Villa at the weekend and then start them tonight and see both of them score brilliant goals is a real positive. More and more, Madueke looks like a really smart signing. I already thought he was a loss to Chelsea, but you are seeing now he is back from injury that Arsenal can have Saka off that right side, or use him. It bodes really well for them with such a busy period coming up. Madueke was a constant threat off that right-hand side tonight. He likes to come inside and get shots off, and got the second goal by attacking the far post too, which pretty much sealed the game. Gabriel Martinelli was not so effective off the left but still got a really good goal, and overall it was a really good evening for Mikel Arteta when you consider how stretched his squad is and how tired they looked at the weekend. So for Arsenal to win away like this in the Champions League is a great result for them. In the first half there wasn't really much in it, just the goal from Madueke, and Club Brugge had a few chances, but even with Norgard having to fill in at centre half, they still looked quite steady. In the end though, it was just about getting 3 points for Arsenal and avoiding any more injuries, and they achieved both of those aims. They are still top of the Champions League and they still have a 100% record. They know they must be going through, and they even have the luxury of maybe resting players now in their next game against Inter, which is exactly where Arteta wants to be. As Sutton mentioned, Arsenal have now all but secured their place in the knockout stages of the Champions League. The Gunners reached the semi-finals last season before losing to eventual winners PSG, but look an even bigger threat in Europe this term. Speaking after Arsenal's win over Club Brugge, Madueke said, "The first goal was really nice, second a tap-in, but the first one was sweet. We're delighted with the result. I think the bare minimum I need to give to my team is threat. Obviously trying to score and be as decisive as possible, that's the next level I need to get to in terms of being consistently decisive for club and country. I think I can reach that level. As well as being the best team in the Champions League, Arsenal have been the best in the Premier League, boasting a 2-point lead at the top of the table despite Saturday's defeat at Aston Villa. Asked what he believed Arsenal could achieve this season, Madueke added, "We're fighting on all fronts. I feel like we can win this competition and win the league. That has to be the aim. We're in a good place at the moment.